Bassmunitions Trip Worm. This is a cool little worm right here. It's a little bit bigger than your traditional finesse style worm, so it allows you to fish it more in places where you typically would, like a jig. So around timber, you know, standing timber, laydowns, when bass start moving offshore, dragging it around, rock piles, brush piles. This is a bait that I'm definitely gonna drag around offshore for sure. A little bit bigger profile. And two of the ways I really like to rig these baits is, one is on a shaky head, not just a light shaky head. This is a little bit bigger shaky head. A 1/2 ounce all the way up to a 3/4, just depending on the water depth. But that really helps compensate for the bigger size worm. This is, like I said, a little bit larger than your average finesse worm. You got a larger hook shank on these heavier shaky heads, so it helps make up for that extended length on the worm. So this is a great setup. What I like to throw it on is what I would consider a Texas style shaky head setup. I got a 2-power action, a jig and worm rod. So this rod's got plenty of backbone in it, and it's got a soft tip, so it allows me to cast that bait out there, get the sensitive feel, but I still have the backbone to set the hook into the fish's mouth. It's not as heavy as like a traditional jig rod or something like that, but it's perfect for throwing these little shaky heads. And I like to throw it with a 30 or 40 pound braid with a 15-pound fluorocarbon leader. So there's no stretch in there, really sensitive, and it's just the ultimate setup for throwing these oversized shaky head baits. Now, the other way I like to rig this is wacky style, weightless wacky style. And all you do is just take a finesse worm hook or wacky style hook and rig it right up the top through the worm, right in the middle of where the thickest part of the worm is. And that is a little bit different sink style than a Cinco. So it gives a little bit different look, more finesse, but it's just a unique way that the bait falls that gets those bites. So you can pitch that around standing timber, floating boat docks, a number of shallow ways to fish this. And you can even put a nail in the front of it if you've got a little bit of wind. And I fish that on pretty much the exact same setup. With a little soft tip, helps you get that bait out there, and then it's got the backbone to get it into the fish's mouth. So you want to fish this presentation a little bit slower, but they're both deadly. They're both great ways to catch them. And this bait, it's been catching fish for many, many years.